My name's Aaron, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. Today I'm reviewing John Varvatos Artisan. This is £52 for 2.5 ounces. Electrifying citrus drenched in Sicilian clementine mixed with juicy Talago fruit. Upon fruit encounter, this unfolds its inviting heart with a mix of ginger root, hints of North African orange tree blossom. A smooth, modern, powerful background rounds out the experience with woody musks. So again, this complies with all its regulatory paperwork. The allergens and responsible person are fantastically put on there, which makes me very, very happy, which means this fragrance is safe for you to wear. Do we have our fragrance samples? We engage with the higher self. Let's get testing. I expect a little spray. So this has Lirolin, so this fragrance will be changing next year when Lirol becomes prohibited to use. So I'll be interested to see how this changes. Earthy, rich, aromatic, undoubtedly masculine, very long lasting. You can smell the citrus in there being manipulated by limonene and other fruit molecules. It has a blue note to it, which is dihydromercenol, and to me this smells like Mr. Bubbles or Mr. Bubbly bath stuff, which I was frantically bathed in when I was a child. Yes, I was one of the children that poured the whole white bottle into the water and had thousands of bubbles and thought it was hysterically funny. But it has a lot of blue molecules in to smell sort of ozonic, and dihydromercenol and things like that can work really well with citruses. I was looking and it says it has orris root in, and orris root is really expensive, and it has ionones in it, and I'm not detecting any ionones, and I'm not seeing any ionones in it, to be honest with you. So this is just primarily aroma chemicals with about 10% naturals in, but for the money you're not really going to get eloquent, beautiful perfumery. It smells like, it just reminds me dead on of Mr. Bubbles or Mr. Bubbly. I can't remember what it's called. It was blue. This is just dead on what it's reminding me of. It has a medicinal note to it, which I would have thought was one of the camphorous raw materials to help elevate the fragrance and give projection. The camphorous note mixed with the acetates is mixed with the dihydromercenol. It just smells incredibly synthetic, but it's not, to me, it's not particularly clever aroma chemical manipulation. I don't like the camphorous note in it at all. So I think that's so overabundant. It smells so soapy, which would be the choice of musk and blue, dihydromercenol, and this camphorous raw material going through it. A few oak mossy raw materials to make it smell masculine, so evanorol in it. Evanorol is a really interesting raw material actually, because at high concentrations it sort of smells, how can I explain it? It smells very masculine mixed with sort of the patchouli and the sort of dihydromercenol, but on its own it can sort of smell, it can aid with the musk, and it can make it sort of things smell a bit dirty and smell a bit sensual actually. I mean, it's very nice, but it just sort of smells like everything else at the moment, and it's underwhelming. When I get a fragrance that's really inspiring, I tend to want to go off and be very creative. When I get something that's very uninspiring, I want to go and stroke Miss Verity, because I just don't particularly find it inspiring at all, and this I don't really find inspiring. On to my final thoughts. Technically, I think it's okay. No, I think it's alright actually, because it's going to fit with the brief and the money, and I think that's quite difficult actually for this amount of money to make things smell long lasting, projecting. So I'll give it a 4 for the money. I think it's really worth the money. Do I like it? No, I don't like it at all, because it reminds me of bubble bath. Clean, blue, bubble bath, oak moss. It's just really uninspiring and underwhelming. Doesn't smell particularly complex, it smells quite flat, and what you're left with at the end is a dihydromercenol and limonene actually. How to improve upon this? In this case, I would change things around quite a lot, and I would lower down the limonene, remove it completely, and the dihydromercenol, and I'll put in a lot of naturals. This needs masses of naturals, and it needs sort of moving around a bit. I mean, it's saying in the thing it's got woody notes and it's orris and ginger and petitgrain. I'm not detecting any of that at all. To be really honest with you, I'm detecting. I mean, it just sort of smells alright. And I mean, personally, I'd like to see a lot more naturals oomphed up in this, but the price goes up, so I've got to sort of be thoughtful of that. I'm going to say 7 out of 10. I think the price and the technical ability is really fantastic, but for me it's lacking naturals and a little bit of originality actually. It sort of smells like everything else around this price. You can be creative and you can do things slightly differently, but it's just that soapiness and that bubble bath thing I really don't like, and it just reminds me, it took me straight back to the 80s and having that, and I'm walking through Boots the Chemist with my mum, looking and smelling stuff and smelling that bottle, and it's just that memory's just been really reactivated, and I can't really get away from that, but isn't that interesting the way memories are all pushed together with fragrance? So love that review, thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content, lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance reviews. I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you soon.